All right, my friends, greetings. It is I, your main man, Mr. X Dreams, back from quite a long week of craziness, if you ask me. Had a lot going on the past week or two. Haven't been able to really do much of anything with this YouTube stuff. I was able to squeeze in a little bit of a video for you guys sometime last week while I was in the hotel, if you guys saw that. But yeah, I'm back at home in my studio where I belong, and glad to see you guys out here. Hope everybody had a great week. Let's see who we got. Lee Underhill, Jesse Lee. I think you were the second person, maybe, Jesse. Gina, PJC, Aaron, England, Jay, Outlaw Immortal, Scarlet Witch, Jin H, Chase Heartless. Hello there, my friends. Jessica D, as always, in the building. And Lord Draco, Swamp Dweller. What is up, my friend? Oh, Swamp Dweller, yeah. Was it Swamp Dweller that I saw on Instagram the other day? Let me just check. Pretty sure it was Swamp Dweller. It just got a silver play button, if I'm not mistaken. You might have gotten it a long time ago, though. Not sure. If that wasn't you, Swamp Dweller, let me know. I'm pretty sure it was you. And if it was you, then congratulations, because that's pretty dope. If you guys don't know, well, most of you, if you're over here, you probably already know Swamp Dweller. Check him out if you never heard of him. He's a good dude. Yeah, just got the plaque yesterday. Congrats, man. That's pretty cool. One of these days, maybe someday, I'll be on your level. Okay, Mighty Might. Hello there, my friend. On your way to work? No worries. This will be up later on. John O'Connor. Hello there. And let's see here. Somebody had something to say here. Open for commission work. Absolutely, Swamp Dweller. Just let me know. Hit me up. Send me a DM or something, and we'll make it happen. I'm curious. Definitely. I like your motif. I could definitely work with that. So yeah, let me know. How's my levels, guys? Volume and versus the music and everything. I hope you guys like the music. I whipped up. It's kind of like a loop, just background stuff that I put together in Fruity Loops not too long ago, and I dig it. I hope you do too. So I've got two stories that pretty recently came into my email, and they're really interesting, cryptid related, and I skimmed over them, so we'll see what they're all about. I didn't read them completely, but from what I've seen, they seem pretty interesting and pretty compelling. All right, let me see here. I'll give you guys a little bit more volume on the voice, and you let me know if that's good, if that works for you. Whoa, almost just broke my desk. Unit 522. Yeah, Unit 522 was actually one of the first guys that I worked with on YouTube. He's a good guy, old friend, and I know Swamp Dweller and Unit 522 are pretty close as well, real life. All right, guys, so let's see, what do we got for updates? Still working on the website, still planning on doing a podcast one of these days. I have kind of a framework in mind for that, but I'm just going to stop talking about it for the most part, because I know it gets annoying for me when somebody keeps saying they're going to do something and they never do it, or they take a long time to do it. They just keep basically talking trash about it. So that's how I feel like I'm getting to that level with the podcast, because it's taken so long for me to kind of find the time and plan everything out. And I'm doing it by myself, so it's kind of a challenge in that way. Normally when you have a partner with a podcast, you kind of can riff off of each other, and you can fill a whole hour, 2 hours just kind of having a conversation. But yeah, here's another new thing that I just did. Overlay. One of my friends called me and said, "Hey, I don't mind you doing your own ads for your merch, but I don't like having that take up the whole screen. So I got this overlay thing going now. So that might be a little bit better." I just saw somebody asked if I have merch. The answer is yes. And funny you bring that up, because now that YouTube has demonetized my entire channel, I basically only get revenue from PayPal donations and merch. So if you guys pick up some shirts or some mugs, go to teespring.com. Send me a picture if you do get anything. I'm sure you'll look good. You'll be out there representing the Dreamers. Send me a picture and you will end up in the Dreamer slideshow, repping the merch and doing your thing out there in the world, representing the Dreamers. I'm going to let that play for a second, and then we are going to get I'll check out these. I think I missed a few people popping into the chat, and then we'll get to these 2 stories that I have for you guys tonight. Rob Martinez, hello there, my friend. Okay, let's see. Jay, you said you got a new story. You let me know. Send me an email and I'll be around. Get back to you as soon as I can. Popata B or Papa Tab 420. Yo, hello there, my friend. You are going to hear these cryptid stories in just a minute. Yeah, if you guys could get me to 1 million subs, that'd be fantastic. I'd appreciate it very much. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, apparently YouTube thinks that I'm stealing from myself whenever I do stream highlights, basically. Dark Waters, what is up, my brother? Good to see you. Stop by to say hello. Glad to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Snyder W, those mugs are badass. I agree. I made them. They're pretty good. I've got one right here, if you didn't notice. Hello there, Roseanne. The family and I are well indeed. Thank you for asking. All right, let's see here. All right, guys. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read one of these stories. The first one is really short. Second one is a little bit more beefy. We're going to read the first one, and then I'm going to talk about some stuff. Then we'll get into the second one. All right. So, as you all well know, when it's time for story mode, we go over to the special, beautiful animation that if I must say so myself, that I created not too long ago. And in order to summon that wonderful visual aid to seed the fertile grounds of your imagination, I must say the magical words. Story mode. Engage. This first story comes from a dear friend, Rebecca, one of our fellow dreamers. I'll put a stop to this music here, and then I'll put on some nice, maybe heavy rain. This one's pretty short and sweet, so let's get into it. Dear Mr. X, sorry it's taken me forever to get back to you. Life has been pretty crazy. I'm tired, but trying to get better. Skinwalkers are things that we don't really talk about because I feel like it can bring them on, so to speak. Bring them into our world. So I'll remain anonymous. Well, sorry, Rebecca, I didn't see that beforehand. My grandfather told me this story only one time because he wanted me to know about skinwalkers and their danger. It was somewhere around the early 1950s, and he was out west in Arizona. He set up camp just outside a reservation. He just started a fire when he heard a noise coming from a wooded area nearby. He looked up and saw a hairy, dog-like beast that was eerily humanoid. It came out on all fours, but then stood on its hind legs. He said he immediately knew it was a skinwalker because it looked like nothing else he'd ever seen. Plus, he could tell somehow that it was completely full of evil and malice, straight from sight. He just knew it was bad. He picked up a bag of blessed stones that he carried with him. I always called it his medicine bag, and started praying in native language. He said the beast stopped and got back down on its four legs and just calmly walked back into the woods. He then just gathered his things and quickly got out of there and never went back. I know that's a pretty short story, but that's something that once happened to my grandfather. And like I said, he only told it once. It was truly terrifying to hear. It's something I'll never forget. Take care, Rebecca. Okay, so, Rebecca, I know you said you were going to remain anonymous and kind of blew up your spot there. You got to lead with that next time. Yeah, you guys might not know who I'm talking about anyway, so hopefully that's good enough for Rebecca. Fairly classic, almost by the numbers, Dogman / Skinwalker type encounter, but something about this story made me want to kind of touch on one of the things that my podcast eventually is going to be about, which is the human collective unconscious. And so before we talk about that, I'm just going to say hi to everybody who's popped in while I've been reading. Let's see here. Nice crack of thunder there. Bad Vibe Storytelling. What is up, my friend? Good to see you. Zeppelin Girl 86. Hello there. Live on a Friday. Yes, I am. Jessica Bullock. Hello there, my friend. And there we go. Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there like that, and one of the things that I when I was kind of skimming over this, I read it earlier today, skimmed over earlier today, and I was thinking about how certain things are so common in the human population. There's so many people that say and truly seem to believe that they've encountered things like this, things that they sort of defy the normal conventional wisdom and observational information that we can take from the world that we see around us. And in this a case like this, it really makes me think, what is the grain of truth in this story? Did something really, a humanoid dog-like creature really approach Rebecca's grandfather and really was warded off by a bag of blessed stones? And if so, why? Why does that happen in some people's lives and not in others? Why is it that most people, I would assume, go throughout their entire lives without seeing any such thing, anything even remotely similar to what some other people claim to see on a regular basis in some cases? And it got me thinking about collective consciousness. And sorry, I'm refilling my mug over here with water because I will dry out with all this talking. Kid Frankie, hello there, my friend. There we go. Where was I? It got me thinking about thought forms and tulpas and things like that. Someone mentioned, one of my fellow dreamers mentioned the concept of a tulpa or a thought form to me a while back. And it was something I'd never really looked into or even really heard about. But that sent me, I was thinking about that this morning while I was at work on patrol and everything. And it kind of had me thinking in ways where it's like, okay, say it is possible, because there's all these different theories about different dimensions and alternate dimensions and creatures that can pass through from one dimension to another. Explanations for Dogman including, hey, it's an extraterrestrial or it's a demon that takes this form for whatever reason. But what if, say, tulpas or thought forms exist? Something that was created intentionally or unintentionally by a human mind that somehow was able to obtain its own sentience and its own form and its own will. Say, what if it's possible that the more people believe in these types of creatures, the more of a stake they will have in the collective consciousness of all humans? As in, the more people are able to perceive this thought form creature that should really only exist in the realm of the human mind. But if you really think about it, everything that you experience is in your mind. It's all sensory input. It's all electrical signals interpreted by your brain, as the great Morpheus once said. So, if there's some way of a thought somehow piecing itself together, or millions of thoughts from different people, all a part of that network of human consciousness, piecing themselves together and little bits of software clumping together in a system, forming its own unique code and unique entity or identity. And say there are X amount of people who believe in dogmen or shapeshifters or skinwalkers, and then that becomes a thought form in itself that can appear to people and affect people's perceptions. And then enough people believe that in some circumstances a blessed stone can ward off such a thing. So then the thought form, the tulpa, then becomes programmed to react accordingly, because that's what people believe should happen when that particular type of thought form is confronted with this particular type of item or object. Just interesting stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm not doing a great job of explaining my thought process on that. Let me know if you guys have any questions about what I'm thinking, or if I'm just rambling about nothing, but I think it's a really interesting idea. All right, let's see here. Stacy, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Out Cast, maybe? Not sure how to pronounce your name, my friend, but I'm glad you're here. Contact email is mr.xdreams54@gmail.com. Gina, who narrated your story? I'm curious. Bad Vibe Storytelling says too deep for me. You just gotta open your mind a little bit. You'll get it. Maharet Manson, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Been a few weeks since I've last seen that name. Hey, Snips, hello there, my friend. You were in judo. I'm sure you were rolling with some people and doling out some street justice. Very nice. All right, so if you guys have any thoughts about that story or about my ideas there, let me know. Okay. Wait. Outcast. I get it. That's pretty clever. Outcast. That's pretty good. I like it. You know, y'all, I've lived with a demonic entity for 15 years. Marriage is a killer. Okay. I get that. I got it halfway through. Or pretty much exactly when you wanted me to get it, I think. Maharet Manson says, you've been going through some stuff, but I'm here. Well, I'm sorry you've been having a rough time. I hope things look up for you, my friend. And for what it's worth, I'm sending as much psionic positivity energy that I can towards your direction right now. If you're connected to the collective human consciousness, as I suspect you are, maybe you're receiving that. Who knows? Brian. Hey there, Mr. X, new to live streams, but listen to your whole channel. Unit sent me. Also wanted to say thank you for your service, and the Dreamer deserves way more views. Thank you very much. I'm always touched when someone enjoys the Dreamer. That was my magnum opus. And I'm actually rewriting it. I always say that, but I try not to so much because if you say something often enough and you don't actually produce it and put it out there, then nobody really cares. It just becomes annoying. But it's very near and dear to my heart, and I have a sequel in my head. And if you guys don't know, The Dreamer is like an audiobook length, like 4.5 hour or 4 hour long video from the early days of my channel that it's a whole story that I wrote and narrated, and I'm updating it and kind of making it a little bit better because I've changed quite a bit as a writer and as a storyteller since that time about 3 years ago. And yeah, hopefully one day I can actually finally finish working on that. Yeah, I have, Lord Draco, I have come quite a long way since back then. Aaron says, according to some of our old stories, our medicine men would shoot them with sacred arrows that would mark them. Medicine men would then follow them back to the witch and kill them. You see, I wish there was some way of providing some kind of evidence towards something like that. It's very interesting. Sleepy time, hello there, my friend. PJ says, that's what got me listening to you, The Dreamer. Okay, ever since then I've been a huge Mr. X fan. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's one of the things I'm most proud of. It's not perfect, but it is pretty good. MC, hello there, my friend. Tony Merkel of the Confessionals sent me over, and I really like your content. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much for letting me know that. Zucker, hello there, my friend. You'll see the animation in just a second. But MC, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Dreamers. And if you guys haven't heard, if you don't follow my Twitter, there's this fantastic podcast called The Confessionals. And I spoke about it on my last video. But Tony of the Confessionals podcast is basically, in this time of YouTube demonetization, in his own way, he's basically sponsoring this channel by putting me on his huge podcast and giving me that exposure. And by the way, I've haven't acknowledged yet the several hundred new dreamers that have joined our ranks in the past couple of weeks. I'm sure in large part thanks to my man Tony of the Confessionals podcast. And there's been a couple hundred people popped up ever since then, and I can't thank him enough for that. And super, super dope guy, very cool, very kind-hearted, and humble. Had a 3-hour conversation with him, which he took about an hour of that, and there you go. He took about an hour of that and turned it into a podcast called Taking the Red Pill with Mr. X Dreams, and it's very appropriately named. If you guys haven't heard it, it's episode 118 of the Confessionals podcast. Check out all his episodes. They're very interesting. He interviews people via the phone and stuff like that. And yeah. Also, make sure if you do check him out and you love it, which I'm sure you will, make sure you leave him a good rating on iTunes or whatever podcast listening app that you use. It was a great time, though. I listened to the podcast after the fact myself, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. PJC says, I always sense great vibes in your live chats because I have literally the best people following me on YouTube. I rarely get any kind of negativity in the comments or in the live chats, and thank you guys for that. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to get into this story in just a second. Sans Serif, hello there, my friends. J-Lo, I know you're not the J-Lo, but if you were, I'd probably pass out right now. Just FYI. In case you are. 6now25, one of the oldest one of the most original OG dreamers out there. 6now. Hello there, along with Snips and Gina and a couple other people. You guys are super dope. All right. Gonna get into the next story. And here we go. Story mode. Engage. This one's a little bit longer, so just FYI, strap in, because if my skimming information that I got from this is any indication, you are in for a treat. Hello, Mr. X. I used to visit a friend who worked out closer to Lake Erie in Ohio, off Route 2, a road named Yondota. It's about a 15 to 20 minute drive from civilization, and even deeper a drive down to the shack where he guarded for his work. My friend, Travis, worked as a night guard for a company that was 2, maybe 3 miles deep into the woods. We would just hang out and chat, have a few smokes. I always brought coffee. The shack was on the edge of a clearing where a road divided 2 forest patches. Tall grass led into the woods for about 40 feet before the tree line. There were no lights other than the shack and the power lines for the factory behind them. I would often hear strange noises, see odd shapes in the trees, but I never did think anything of it. We were close to a nature preserve and a lake, so there was lots of wildlife that inhabited those woods. But this one specific night, something otherworldly happened. We were sitting outside while we smoked, or he smoked, rather, and we heard this loud clicking noise. It almost sounded like an insect, except much, much louder. I could hear it from the left of us at first, and it echoed across the opening into the night. There was a silence for a few moments as Travis and I stared at each other, wondering what was going on. As if the noise knew we were waiting, we heard a response of a cackling scream, followed by more clicks, this time from the right. I will never forget that scream. It started as if someone was having their soul ripped from their body, but it ended in a multi-voiced laugh that died into the night. Being a security guard, Travis had a weapon. He got it out and called me back into the factory, along with the other guard, asking if he had heard it too, but he got no response from the guard. From the left again, more clicking and shuffling. Except there were more than one this time, and closer. At this point, we basically locked ourselves in the shack. It was 2 a.m. This chatting, screaming, conversation that was incomprehensible continued for another 40 minutes. His coworker did respond eventually, and we were told to stay in the shack until further notice. It was close to 3:30 a.m. before I was allowed to leave. 2 guards, plus Travis, escorted me to my car, which was parked on the left side of the clearing. Travis and a guard got into a vehicle and followed me out to the main highway to make sure I made it out okay. I lived about 30 minutes away in a small town in Wood Country, Ohio. That year, we had an extremely high number of deer deaths taking place. Small dogs went missing, tons of roadkill, and way too many deer dead on the road for comfort. As I got to the edge of town, something huge came out onto the road. A dog, or a wolf, or something of that nature stood at least 6 feet tall at the shoulder. Dead stop in my path. It was gray, dingy, covered in ragged fur. I could see it staring at me through my car, like it knew who I was. The eyes were simply too human for my liking. Did not seem to want to let me pass. I had no choice but to stop my car. Remember, it was 3:30 in the morning. I wanted to call Travis or pretty much anyone, but I was so scared I couldn't move. I felt like if I moved even a muscle, this thing would come barreling at my car and take me away. I could feel the hate and evil that was seeping out of that creature and directly through the glass. Just as soon as it showed up, stopped and looked at my car, it bowed over and walked into the clearing. That year we had record deaths for deer, like I said, and there were several reports of a huge dog killing livestock in our county. Travis was part native, and I have several friends who are native. I've seen several animals since who I've had negative interactions with. There's been this fox following me for years, which is my spirit animal, and I have a tattoo of one on my body. I've been visited. I've been advised that it might actually have been a skinwalker, seeing as Erie tribes inhabited that area many years ago. It's been 2 years since I've had an incident, but every once in a while I feel that same fear when I'm out in the country by myself. Like that creature, whatever it was, is still following me. Thanks for your time, Mr. X. Now, I gotta tell you guys, I did not realize the similarity between these two stories. As far as the Native American aspect of it, I had no idea about that actually, because I didn't see it when I was kind of skimming through. But it's interesting that two different people sent me two different stories that both, within pretty much I think a week of one another, that were both related to Dogman / Skinwalker, canine, humanoid, and Native Americans. It's very interesting, and it really does bring that whole collective consciousness thing to mind for me even more, because, like I said, imagine human beings. I believe the human mind is a very powerful thing, and imagine a large group of people who strongly believe something, and they are in a certain geographic area, and they're there for hundreds or thousands of years. Imagine that a thought form could be born there and be nurtured by the people's belief in it. Even if they leave, what if it could still be there? It could stay there on its own, of its own accord. Or what if just, a few people there being there as anchors for this thing to exist in some form, in some reality, some level of or layer of our reality? What if that's all it takes for people to have experiences like this? That's an interesting idea. Let's see here. Got some action going on here in the chat. I don't think you guys want to hear me burp, so take that off there. Somebody's having headaches. Luckily, I'm not I've never really had huge problems with headaches. It's just not something that really happens to me. But I hate hearing what people, because when you do have a headache, and I do have one once in a while, and it's like such an inescapable thing. It's like a disturbing phenomenon to me, just knowing that something deep inside your head is causing you pain. You don't know why or how. It sucks. Sorry to hear that, Sans. Roseanne, you enjoyed the podcast with the confessionals? I'm glad to hear that. That's cool. Let's see here. Just going to rearrange my screen so I can see you guys better. Stray Panther 79, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Creepy Clown Girl, hello. Name sounds familiar to me. Feel like I should know you. Let me check out what your channel is. Sure, I've seen you around somewhere, Creepy Clown Girl. There's a lot of clown-related channels nowadays, though. That could be it, too. Outcast says, everything we don't understand, event individually or collectively, resides in the woods and in the waters. Very interesting. Okay, still, whoa. You see, this doggone chat is always jumping around on me. Okay, trying to follow this up. I really should have probably called Nix for this. I didn't know there was going to be so much action in the chat. Nix would have been here to help me out. While I'm, okay, let's see here. Collective awakening, to take it back. To take it back. Just pondering on Mr. X's thought on what we can accomplish through the mind that we may not fully grasp. I think the more I really have a lot of thinking to do on this subject, especially before I start making podcast episodes about it. But that is the gist of the type of things that I want to talk about, because I really do believe that pretty much all of these phenomenon are somehow related or can be connected or explained by a collective consciousness type of thought process. And the whole addition of thought forms into that, and having possible, either sentient or not sentient, it could just be an image of what people expect to see, or something that just replays itself over and over again. Like when you hear about a hotel that's haunted and people see ghosts doing the same things over and over again, that could just be a thought form that's basically stuck there. It's just a recorded loop of something that happened to someone, or the coagulated or the collected, what is it? Not coagulated or congealed. It's like the fragments of someone who was removed from the network, which I always use that term, being removed from the network. When you die, your body, your main consciousness is removed, but that doesn't mean that there's not something shaped similar to you left behind. That's the idea that kicks around in my head oftentimes. The Gray Mare story. I'm not aware of what that is. Lucifer Rebellion. That's a very vague story in every sense of the word that I've seen. PJC mentioned that. As you guys know, I don't really get into religious talk that much. Tim Dog, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Living eclectic. Found me via the confessionals. That's awesome. Another one. Another dreamer added to our ranks. Forgets to say that all the time, Tim. Okay. Oh yeah. Thank you, Tim and Snips. Guys, hit the like button, because back in the day when I used to upload these, and then I would kind of take the main live stream down and cut out certain parts of it and put up the highlights, and that's the main one that would need to be upvoted or liked or whatever. But now I can't do that because YouTube will probably demonetize me again next time if I was to do that. So I'm gonna definitely need those thumbs up. If you're watching right now, hit the thumbs up button. That'd help a lot. And if you have other social media, you can retweet it. I'll be online for another probably 45 minutes or so, just hanging out, now that we've told those two very interesting stories. And also, whatever you guys want to talk about, if you have any ideas or anything that you're curious about or want to hear my take on, I'm always open for that. Let's see who else came in here. Nick Knack, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Margbot, hey there, Margbot. Hey, Margbot, I thought we were supposed to be doing like an interview or something one of these days. I remember you saying something like that. Maybe one day we'll get around to it. Hope you're doing well, though. All right. That's really cool. A lot of people coming from a lot of new faces. If you are new here, welcome. This is my thing that I do on YouTube. I don't know if it's a show or if it's just a bunch of people hanging out. But every so often I pop on at random times with very little to no notice, and whoever's around, I read stories to. And it's a lot of fun for me and hopefully for as many other people as possible. Let's see here. Outcast, I just want to say I love this group here. I get a very friendly and calming vibe that is rare these days. So to you all, stay strong in spirit and continue your path bravely. I agree. That's one of the reasons why I love doing these live streams. I don't have time anymore to do produced, audio experience type videos anymore. I wish I did, but I really don't. And this is really scratching my YouTube itch. The fact that I can get online and talk to people and everything. And then when somebody hits me with a PayPal donation once in a while, or picks up something from the merch store and sends me a picture of them wearing it so they can be a part of this awesome slideshow of my dreamers. Whenever you guys do things like that, that just makes it even more worthwhile, and I appreciate it. I got a few new pictures that I haven't yet to add into this and render it properly, but pretty soon those will be in there. As soon as I get a few more, like once I get like 3 or 4, then I usually will update the slideshow. A lot more people buy these shirts and mugs and stuff and the hoodies than actually send me pictures. So if you have one of these and you've never sent me a picture of you wearing it to put in this slideshow, please do, because it's I like being able to show you guys off and have you see yourself on the streams and on the videos, and you get the cool Mr. X Dream style glowing eyes as well as a sign-on bonus. So what do you guys got? I'm all yours. We got time. I'm just hanging out before I go in and start binge watching that show on Netflix, The OA. Anybody seen that? It is, if you're a dreamer, that's basically right up your alley. There's all kinds of interesting interdimensional dream related time travel and stuff like that. The OA on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. Not sponsored or anything, but I watched the first season like a year ago, and the second season just dropped. Super dope, very thought-provoking and interesting. Justin Stone Cipher, hello there, my friend. Sasa May, new sub alert, listen to you on the confessionals from Manchester, UK. Awesome. All the way from downtown across the pond. Greetings, my friend, and welcome to the Dreamers. I know you probably said that like several minutes ago. I need to really catch up with this chat. Okay, let's see. What's the connection between supernatural and depression? That's a big question, Sasa May. What's the connection between the supernatural and depression? I would have to say, in my totally non-professional opinion, if someone has experiences with the supernatural and no one else around them does, I would have to say that I would have to believe that there's a potential for depression to set in, knowing that you're so much different than the people around you, or you've had an experience that you can't relate with other people. Other people can't relate with you. That's got to be something. That's got to be something. That could be troubling to a lot of people. So, and by the way, if you do have any kind of trouble like that, there's people, especially here, there's people that you could really, that you can talk to. People, you'd be surprised how many people have had similar experiences to whatever you're going through, or at least something that can somewhat be related or relatable between dreamers. I've noticed a lot of overlap between different people's perspectives, and a lot of people in this community do suffer from depression. So I always say, find a community, find someone to talk to, and work through those issues. Don't feel like it's something that you have to hide, or that you have to push down or sweep under the rug, because it's really not healthy to do so. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? Marco Ramos, hello there, my friend. Nick DeFora, hello. Greetings and welcome to the live stream tonight. Shinfits, my old high school buddy, hello there, my friend. I still got a few more minutes here. Bruce Wayne is in the house somehow. I'm a little suspicious of you, Bruce Wayne, though, because you're not real. But hey, I'm glad to have you here. I didn't know Bruce Wayne was a dreamer, and that's really nice. Eric Tolbert heard me on Confessionals podcast. Freaking A, that's like what, the 4th or 5th one tonight? That's awesome. Welcome, my friend, and I'm glad to have you here. Mark Botts, I'm happy to interview a second time. Did we do a first interview? Have I been that busy or out of it, or is my memory that bad where I've forgotten an interview with Margbot? Wow, I need to look that up. I gotta confirm that we did that already. If we did, nothing. No offense. I didn't mean to forget about that. Nick Knack, you said you've been lazy and haven't sent me your story. Well, hey, no harm, no foul. Send it to me. You have 30 minutes from right now to send it, Nick Knack. I'm just joking. You're good. Whenever you can is fine. And it's always, this channel subsists off of you guys coming out and sending me stuff and giving me things to talk about. And that's why I love you guys so much, and that's why I need to continue fostering and developing this community as much as possible, because the things that you guys share with me are quite frankly amazing. And I really enjoy having this unique group of people to draw from. It's super awesome. Let's see here. Who else we got? Lurkai, hello there, my friend. Mr. X is the best. That is very kind of you to say. Shinfit says, have you seen Love, Death, and Robots? Yes, Love, Death, and Robots. Another pretty easy, because it's like 18 short films, all made by different people, different animation styles. Super clean, high-quality animation, and some of the most mind-boggling concepts I've ever freaking seen on TV, storyline wise, especially the last one. It was fantastic. I loved it. And Nick Knack said, man, I'm so behind on this chat. Nick Knack said, well, we wanted to talk about the OA. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's freaking dope, and I don't want anybody to get anything spoiled. Did I make any updates to my banner? I don't think so. What banner are you talking about? Not sure. Valerie, hello there, my friend. Good to see you, Valerie. OG dreamer right there. Okay, I'm gonna go fast. 6 now, 25. I have OA in my queue. I have a desire to watch it. I have more of a desire to watch it. Netflix should not have gotten rid of reviews. I agree. I used to read them a lot. Yeah. Yes, Kid Frankie, thank you. Remember, everybody, thumbs up the video if you haven't already. Lurkai says, if you had powers, would you tell anybody? All right, I'm going to copy this question and paste it over here so that I don't forget it. Because I'm trying to get through these comments as much as possible without getting hung up on anything. Yeah, man, props to any parent that's dealing with a child who's having, has any kind of developmental concerns or is on the spectrum in any significant way, because I know how, well, I can only imagine how challenging that can be. And it's always good when I see the parent it just treats their child the way every child should be treated, which is like an important and loved individual. But it's just that much more difficult to manage rearing such a child when there's so many needs that are different and far above and beyond the average experience of a parent. And so if you do that, then hey, bless you for that. That's awesome. You're the type of parent we need out here in this world. Tariko just joined the stream. Always awesome to come on in a powerful message. Hey, yeah, this great community, man. Could not ask for a better group of people than my fantastic dreamers. Let's see. Zeppelin Girl said, my depression got way out of control and took me to some dark places. It helps so much to talk, but it's so scary to let those walls down. Now, I understand that, but there's a point where you have to make the decision of whether you're going to just try to survive on your own without letting anyone else in, or do basically what the human race can get great benefit from. We've grown together as a society and as a group to interact with each other and to share with each other and to work together. And I think that's pretty much the best way to solve almost any problem that a human being would have. Just about any problem. Bruce Wayne says, Mr. X Dreams is not real either. Yeah, I believe I feel real, but you might be right. I might be a projection of all of your minds. The real Mr. X Dreams could have maybe never existed at all or died a long time ago, and you guys are just conjuring the image of him, and that's become me. I'm a thought form of you now. Imagine that. That's an interesting thought. It's kind of creepy. I mean, to me, because I'm talking about myself having died in the past and now being somehow resurrected by the dreamers. That's very interesting. Years from now, this conversation is probably going to mean a whole different thing. All right, let's see here. Animatrix still Outcast's favorite of all time. This is on the level of Animatrix, I would say. Animatrix was awesome. This stuff, some of these things are like even farther beyond that. Trust me. Scrolling banner. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I haven't updated it yet, but I do have some stuff to update on it. I drew a few other pictures that maybe I'll go on. Maybe the next stream I'll go online and I'll go on and show you guys the process of how I do that, and just kind of modify it a little bit. Am I a Stephen King fan? Yes, to some extent. I do I love Salem's Lot. That's one of my favorite books I ever read. I read about half the Dark Tower series before it just got too crazy for me, and I took a long break, and now I don't remember what was going on, so there you go. My Read. Hello there, my friend. Greetings, and glad to have you around. You'll send your story, Knick-Knack. You said you're going to send your story, but don't read it until you finish the first season of OA. I'm in the second season, like halfway through the second season, and its second season is even better than the first one. To me, it's actually much better, and I really liked the first season, but this one it's nuts. Yes, I do like Stephen King. I'm probably going to go see Pet Sematary at some point in the near future. I haven't read that one, but I figure why not? I hear it's okay. Yeah. Hey, B, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Have I seen Us? No, not yet. I need to find someone who's willing to go with me to see Us, because the person that I normally go with to movies with is very averse to horror films. So probably got to find someone else. PJC says, thank you for your time and service, and thank you to fellow dreamers for being who you are. Always feel the most positive energy when LinkedIn. Stay blessed. Thank you, my friend, and it's all my pleasure. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Ice Cube. Well, we got Brad in the house today. Very nice. Hello there, Brad. I saw your Instagram message, by the way, Brad, and I haven't gotten a chance to go check it out and respond. All right, hold on. Okay, now Markbot is saying, okay, I did do an interview with you. You know what? We sure did. That was so... Okay, yeah, that was like 2 years ago. All right, I just forgot. Markbot, you're a woman of your word, and I take it back. I will not haunt your dreams tonight because you have appeased me by doing what you said you would do 2 years ago. Thanks for the due diligence over there. Let's see here. Yeah. So it does, yeah, Lurkai, it does sound weird. Let's go see Us. Have you seen Us? Have you seen Us? That's funny. Rose Red. Yeah, The Shining. Stephen King, The Shining. It. Salem's Lot. Dark Tower. What else? The one with the werewolves. I can't remember the name of it. Alright, so Lurkai asked a few minutes ago, if you had powers, would you tell anybody? Depends on what the powers would be. What would you guys want? Alright, I'm going to read this. There's a question here. I want you to think about this as I'm reading this next question. What superpower would you choose if you had a choice? And I'll tell you guys what I would do and why. I don't know if I've ever spoken about this before. I'm pretty sure I did, but if I did, it was a long time ago. All right. Okay, Spanish Rhyme says, hello there from the UK. I thought of you last time, Mr. X. I had a nightmare, but in my dream it was broad daylight, a beautiful spring day. The environment was totally in contrast to what was happening. Well, what was happening in your dream, in your nightmare? What qualified it as a nightmare, I wonder? What's the one with the author and he's trapped in the bed and the woman breaks his ankles so that he can't come out? I can't remember that one. Can't remember the name. All right. Take care of those kids, PJ. Good hanging out with you. I appreciate it. Take care, my friend. Okay, let's see. Silver Bullet. I feel like it was something else. I can't remember. Misery. Thank you, guys. Wow. It was like 8 people that came up and said that. Appreciate it. B would choose healing powers. So now, would you allow people to know that you have the ability to heal? For healing, I would definitely not do that. I would definitely not let people know that I had the ability to heal, because I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people throughout various segments of society that would straight up either kill you to avoid competition or kidnap you and conduct various painful experiments to find out how you do what you do, and probably end up being on a vivisection table or something within a couple days if that word got out that you had the ability to heal people magically. Yeah, I'm sure you do know better than that. Yeah, the pharmaceutical industry would have their goons after you quick, fast, and in a hurry, I'm sure. Time manipulation powers, Tarico? Seriously? That's a no-go. I will not allow it. I cannot do that. If you go back in time, unless the only way I would do time travel is if I can go back in time or forward in time and guaranteed not to affect anything. Like if you can go back and observe time and not actually interact physically with anything, then sure, that's actually not that bad. But no freaking way I would go back and physically be able to alter anything, because that's a no-go. It's one of the most terrifying concepts in I know of. Let's see. Outcast would choose healing in all manners with protective defenses built in for battle. So you'd be like a combat healer or combat medic superhero type. That's pretty cool. Yeah, 6 now, I bet you do wish that. I know you have a lot of pain in your life. I hope you're doing well. I haven't spoken to you in a long time, actually. 6 now. 25. I remember you saying that you had a lot of pain physically. Lurkai says, my theoretical powers would always reside around any liquid or water, being able to reshape and morph it. That's a pretty good one. Water or liquid, being able to control that. So you could basically destroy a human body instantly by causing the liquid inside, which is 75% of the body, to just exit all the pores. That would be interesting. 6 now 25 says, but also if I had the ability to erase minds. What would you do with that? That's pretty cool. But I can't imagine very many advantages to that. Just being able to wipe someone's mind. Seems kind of mean to do that. Daniela, hello there, my friend. Greetings. I don't know if I've seen you around here before. What brings you to these parts? The land of the dreamers. Let's see. Brad says, I'm thinking telekinesis, the best ability. Move objects without touching them. Yeah, that would definitely be useful. I think that's way more useful than manipulating fire, because you could probably cause a lot of fires using telekinesis if you really were really good at it. 6 now says you're getting worse. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. That's terrible news. But hey, maybe you can, if I can distract you from that for even a few minutes, then I will have done my job. Justin Stone Cipher says, I would have the power to enter the dream realm whenever I want. Now, that's something I can help you with. If you really want to be able to do that, the most success that I've had, and there are ways, I'm sure there are a multitude of ways that you can master the dream realm, but the one most consistent way that I've experienced for being able to access and enter the dream realm in where you're not quite you're not in it so deeply that you're a slave to it, but you can actually influence it with your own will, is, and it's, you got to be careful when you do this and how you do it, but when you are so exhausted, extremely exhausted, and by the way, this is not medical advice. This is not, I'm not telling anyone to do this or suggesting that anyone do this. This is how I have done this in the past. At times where I'm very, very exhausted and I am not able to go to, or if it takes me a long time before I'm able to actually lay down and go to sleep, it's basically the longer it takes for me to get to a bed, the more I begin to hallucinate and see kind of almost like holes in reality. I think I might be buffering. Let me go to a different. Let me go over to a different input. All right. Just to start over real quick, because I'm not sure if you guys can even hear me right now. Let me know if you guys can hear me. So what I was saying, I really don't even know if you guys can hear me right now. I hope you can. What I was saying was, if you let yourself get to a point where you're completely exhausted and you don't go to sleep, you really start to, well, what happens to me is that I start to kind of see holes, things, areas where I can penetrate reality and almost like open a portal. It's a very interesting scenario. And that, to me, I believe, is one of the key elements of being able to enter the dream world on your own terms. And when you're able to do that, you can basically train, and the more experience you have in that realm, and the more experience you have entering it in that way, where you kind of have your wits about you and you know what's going on. It's basically practice for you mastering your dream state, your dream realm. And like I said, I'm not suggesting that anyone exhaust themselves and purposefully stay awake until they start to hallucinate, but that's the way that, and I've never done that on purpose. It's just times where that's what happened, and those happen to be the times where I was the most in tune with my dreams. Snips would like to do mind control, and I'm sure that's pretty much self-explanatory why you'd want to do that. Dimensional teleportation, that would be really cool. Zen 2011. Hello there, my friend. Greetings. Better late than never, as many people have already said. It's fine. This video will be up for pretty much as long as YouTube is willing to keep it up. And by the way, okay, I think my stuff is back to normal. I had a really low signal there for a few seconds or a couple minutes, but hey, once again, real quick, you guys know it's been scrolling around across the bottom of the screen this whole time. Demonetized with YouTube. If you do want to support the show or support me and my antics here, you can do a PayPal donation if you want, or you can pick up some gear from the Dreamers Mr. X Dream store on teespring.com. If you do that, for sure, check it out. Send me a picture of you wearing one of my stuff, one of my shirts or hoodies or what have you, drinking from a mug, and be a part of the awesome super amazing Dreamer Squad merch representers. And as I always say, if you do wear my merch, if you do wear a Mr. X Dreams shirt designed and drawn by me, make sure you're going out there into the world and being the best human being you can be. That's what being a dreamer really means. And as far as the context of this channel and the people that follow me, that's what I want from you guys if you're going to do that. If you're not going to be a good person, don't buy my merch, because I don't want the world to go around seeing people acting like bad people, we'll say, out there in the world. Alright, so, like I said, no pressure, not a requirement. All I really want from you is for you guys to hang out, be good people, have a good time, and chat with me every now and then. But if you really want to support me in that way, my PayPal, it's going across the screen on the bottom, and got the Teespring store as well, just so you guys know. Alright, so back to this discussion. Yeah, if it was an automatic thing that you can just do lucid dreaming any moment you want, that would be, absolutely, that'd be awesome. But yeah, most people doesn't really, I mean, that is one superpower that you can train yourself to obtain. A dreamer Facebook group. I don't really do Facebook too much, and I don't necessarily want to add another piece of social media to my plate. It's kind of a pain in the butt for me. Okay, Mr. Dan and Harry ordered stickers. Hey, whatever you stick those stickers onto, make sure you send me a picture so I can see it, because that'd be awesome. Snyder W says, you do control your dreams. Ona Holly, hello there, my friend. Greetings. I'm glad to see you here. Ebola, hello there. And let's see, who else we got? Yeah, this thing is, I don't know what's going on, but it did lag a few times. Sorry about that, guys. 6 now said something that I need to see. Someone I cared about was dying. I prayed hard, offering everything in me to help her get better. For 2 days it seemed like she was, but I felt like I was losing my soul and could barely function. That's very interesting. You know, I know exactly how you feel with that. 6 now. This has reminded me of something that I used to do back in the days when I was in the military. I would always, I've been, as you probably guys well know, or you could assume, I sort of have a pretty open mind with stuff like this, and there was a time where I would regularly try to extract pain from other people with, just using my mind somehow. It's one of those things where I just wondered, okay, I don't know exactly how this works or how to do this specifically, but what if I just will it? What if I use my will to try to help another person? And there were several times where I would tell someone would say, hey, I have a headache, and what I can guarantee you that I am able to do is concentrate on that person's pain, and if they tell me what pain they're having, I can basically make myself have that same pain, or a pain in the same area. That's for sure, because I can feel it. But some people have said, it's also me telling them, hey, let me know if you feel any better in a few minutes, and I'll do this. I'll concentrate on trying to extract the pain from them and inject it into myself. and purposefully do that. And there have been times where people said, I don't really feel any different, but I still have this. I personally would have the pain. I will have gained pain, and they still have the same amount of pain as they had before, which is kind of a moot point. It doesn't really make sense to do. But there were other times where the person said, "Oh no, it does feel a lot better," and I did have the pain in myself, and it's one of those things where it could just be that it's all in everyone's head, and there's really no actual connection in any way, whatever kind of energy you want to conjure up in your mind. But I just wonder, okay, well, how does that make it any less of a thing? It's like the placebo effect. If someone is taking something they think is going to make them better, and it makes them better even though there was no chemical component that should logically be able to do that, why would you discount that ability? Why do people look at that and like it's something wrong? That's a human being that just, and I heard a doctor, someone saying this, how we need to encourage and we need to study and find out how the placebo effect works and why, because that's obviously the human body just healing itself spontaneously just because it thinks that that's what's supposed to happen. And that kind of connects to this whole idea of trying to heal another person. If you think that you can do it and they think that you can do it, there is a possibility that it will work, that they will be healed. I'm not saying it's for everything it works the same way, and there's certain things that, if you have stage 4 cancer, I don't see the placebo effect working on something like that. But there's plenty of things every day in every study, the placebo effect works sometimes. And it's just an interesting thing to think about, and I wonder why, if anyone's studying that. I hope there are people studying it. Linzer Ryan, I'm here. I received my shirt, but I haven't had a chance to take a pic yet. Well, my friend, I hope that you have a chance to take a pic pretty soon, because that would be awesome. And if you want to have some cool Mr. X Dreams glowing eyes like these, send me that picture and you will be a part of the slideshow. That'd be super cool. I've been waiting for a few more. Black Mirror episode from Black Museum. I haven't seen all the Black Mirror episodes. I've only seen a few of them. But I am well aware of the insane concepts and quality for that. An empath is someone that is able to feel the pain of others, basically. I can do that, and I think anyone can do that if they really try. Let me see here. I gotta update this old video. One of these days, I'll get around to it. Alright, I got a few more minutes. And, yeah, I'll be off in about 3 minutes, guys. So, gonna wrap things up in just a second here. Actually, just got a text from Tony over at the Confessionals podcast. I think he's going to be, well, actually, he did try to call me a minute ago. Give me 1 second. I'm going to call him back in just a minute. But hey, he sent a bunch of you guys over here today, so I do owe him a call. We'll call you in a few. I'm going to have Tony, he's going to kind of be one of my mentors and for this whole podcasting thing, because I honestly don't know the first thing about it. And but I've got some ideas, and I've got stuff that I want to communicate. And I think the new format's going to be pretty cool, because you guys will be able to basically download and listen to those things whenever you want. So I think there's going to be some overlap between who enjoys the podcast and who enjoys the live streams, because you'll probably, and I actually plan on incorporating you guys and your questions in my podcast episodes. So what I'm going to be doing is talking about something and reading some stories about a certain topic, and then I will go and I'll basically take some of your questions and the points and stuff that you guys bring up and expound upon the subject a lot in another portion, like another segment of the podcast itself. So you guys are actually going to help me make material. Just it's very appropriate, I think, because I get most of my material and my talking points and the things that the knowledge that I get from a lot of you guys, from my dreamers, because you guys are always sending me things and telling me, hey, this happened to me. And you guys are such a brilliant and intelligent, critical thinking bunch that you're like a team to me. So who all is ready to be a part of a team for what I'm calling, well, I won't tell you guys the name yet, but I'm sure you'll be able to, you'll recognize it once I tell you, because I don't want anybody to buy the website before I do. But anyway, all these new faces that are here, thanks Snips for reminding me about this. All the new faces that are here, thank you guys so much. Those who joined over from the Confessionals podcast, welcome. I hope you guys keep your notifications on, and remember that you can come by anytime I'm on a stream. You guys are more than welcome here. I'm very, very glad to see all the new people in the house here, new and old, because some of you guys have been here around since the beginning. And yeah, you guys are saying that you're definitely down for helping me out and participating in my podcast, and I'm going to have probably the most contributors for any podcast format. And by the way, don't let anybody know about that, because that's kind of my secret sauce that I just thought of a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, remember to thumbs up the video. I'm going to go call Tony back in just a second. And thank you guys very much for hanging out. It's totally random, and I didn't give you much notice, but you showed up. Next live stream is probably going to be sometime next week. I don't know what day or what time, but I'll try to make it probably pretty similar to this one. Let's see. Code word for today. Who's got a code word? If you've reached the end of this video, type in the code word, which is going to be, let's see. You guys got to help me out. Give me who's got a code word? Lurkai, code word Red King. That's a little too complicated. How about skinny, since we talked about skinwalkers? Yeah, it probably was a skinwalker who disliked the video already. M, hello there, my friend. Don't worry about that dislike. There's always one. And someone else showed up at the last second. Ben Harrell, hello there, my friend. I'm sorry I missed you, but we're about to sign off for the night. Lynn, hello there. Skinny is a good one. That's what we're going to do. So, if you reached the end of this video, type the word skinny in the comments so I can see you. You guys have a great night. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Wherever you're at, be safe, be good people, do the best you can at whatever you do, because no one can really ask any more than that. So yeah, hope you guys like my background theme music. And until next time, my friends, I'm Mr. X, and may your nights be full of dreams. See you later.